My name is Marcello Hernández, and today we're gonna be going through my camera roll. What's in my camera roll? Great question. My first one that I chose is me with my mom when I am just a wee little boy. Good personality pick. I'm holding a little cup with a bunch of grapes because it's probably Christmas and you have to eat 12 grapes or you have bad luck. And at this age, you don't want to have bad luck. My mom is my world. I would call her my muse, you know?
I have a Cuban mom that escaped communism, okay? The only reason I know that is because she told me every morning.
A lot of the jokes I say and a lot of the stuff I write has to do with, I think, our relationship growing up. She went through a lot to get to the US and to, you know, make a name and a world for herself. So I respect her very much and I trust her judgment very much. The next one I have is with Benito Bad Bunny, El Mío. We did this sketch that Streeter Seidel and Mikey Day helped us with, where him and I are the king and the prince of Spain, and they're bringing us these things from the New World, and it was just so cool to get all dressed up in this regalia, would you call it? Just the stank. Look at the stank on that face by Benito. His work ethic is so amazing, and he's a perfectionist and really ideal type of person to work with. He played this part so well.
La calabaza.
Oh, ¿qué es eso?
¿Ese melón tiene herpes? ¡Sácalo!
It was like definitely like a surreal experience to do a sketch with him, and we did the one with Pedro Pascal, who I love you, Pedro.
Give me Tyler, give me Haley.
The fact that now I can run into Bad Bunny Benito and be like, what's up? And he's like, hey man, good to see you, is like, you know, life altering. Also a big shout out to this guy right here, Oz Rodriguez, who is a Dominican director that used to work for SNL for many years, and he still pops in now and again. And on the Benito episode, they brought him in. He's got the DR hat representing La República Dominicana. It was just really cool to get to work with a Dominican director, with Benito on SNL, a sketch that was all in Spanish, which I don't know for sure, but I believe it's, you know, maybe the first time ever that a sketch is 100% in Spanish with subtitles. So just a legendary moment for me, and I'm very blessed that I got to do this. The next picture I have is me and my best friend Santiago Nunez, who is my boy from day one. So this is probably, I think, like, I don't know, 7th or 8th grade. And that is my best friend Santi, my day one. He's been with me, you know, every step of the way on this journey and on every journey I've been on, really, playing soccer in middle school and high school. And we basically grew up together since we're 2, 3 years old. So he likes to go fishing, and we're gonna do a lot more of that now, I think. The next picture is, so in high school, I was selected most humorous on the yearbook, and they asked me what picture I wanted to take. And I sent them this, which is Will Ferrell doing this picture, and I tried my best to reenact it, and that's me as a senior in high school. Will Ferrell for me is obviously a huge influence. This was my little homage to Bill. No, I can't call him Bill. I think I met him for like a second. He came by SNL, I think. I am such a huge fan of his, and I love everything he's done, and I love you, Will. I'd love to meet you. The next picture I have is playing soccer in college. This is the nastiest thing I ever did in college. I basically took a touch that was too long, and this guy was about to take the ball. I did a nice little spin move. We call it a ruleta. That was kind of coined by Zidane. You watch these players growing up do it, and you're just dying to get the opportunity to do it in a game. And I was able to do it one time, and he actually fell. Huh. How about that? The next picture I have is me with Dwayne Wade, who for a Miami kid is like, you know, it's called Miami Wade County. He's just such a legend, and I couldn't believe I got to meet him. I was at a CAA conference, my agency, and I got to introduce him. He was saying a speech to the agency people at this convention. But I love D. Wade. He's done so much for Miami, and he's such a cool guy, and I hope he can come to SNL one day and hang out. The next one I have is another huge moment, which is getting to meet Big Papi. David Ortiz, one of the most legendary Dominican baseball players of all time. I have jokes about him. When I met him, I remember just seeing him and being like, oh my God. And I said hi, and he was like, where do I know you from? And I was like, I'm on TV and I said a joke about you, and he was like, oh yeah, I remember this thing. And that was like, holy mother of God. So this was just a beautiful moment, really full circle moment. And then I went to the Super Bowl, and Zinedine Zidane, who is a legendary Real Madrid player, Real Madrid, which is my favorite soccer team in Spain, and he was just walking by with his hoodie on and his hat on, and obviously we're at a Super Bowl, so like it's a lot of American people, maybe they don't know these soccer players, so he's just walking and nobody's saying anything to him. Actually, Michael Che was there with me, and I look at Michael Che and I'm like, I have to do something right now, I'm sorry. He's like, what? And I ran over to Zizou, and I was like, can I please take a selfie with you? He's like, yeah, of course. We took a quick selfie and he walked off. For him, it was like, you know, a second. But for me, this is like a lifelong dream to meet Zinedine Zidane and have this selfie with him is like bucket list. My mom was at the Super Bowl with me. And after I took this picture, I went up to my mom and I was like, we can go home. We don't have to do anything else here. We can go back to Miami, go whatever you want. I'm good. I met Zinedine Zidane today. The next one I got is me with Kristen Wiig. We were backstage right before we both went out for Update, which like you have to understand, like for like a newer cast member on an alumni episode to be on the same Update desk with her is just insane. Shout out to Colin Jost, who wrote the earthquake sketch.
Oh, yeah! What's up, New York?
This was right when I walked off. I had just done the earthquake update, and Kristen was there waiting to go on. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I took my phone out, and I was like, please take a picture of me and Kristen. Kristen is just such a legend on SNL and off. Bridesmaids is such a legendary movie. My mom and I watch it together, and she's so funny. And this was just kind of like another surreal, like, how is this happening to me type of moment. So my next picture is backstage when we did the club with Jason Momoa, who was so awesome.
You are an ugly person.
And this is just kind of like this area where we change. It's called paint cans. It's where like a lot of like, you know, stuff is happening with like painting the set or whatever. So that's Kenan back there. Don't miss out on Kenan's sick look. Just being around Kenan is always a good time. He's been so good to me and taught me so much. So it's just fun to like be changing and look over and see Kenan and be like, let's get it. Like, are you ready? But he's the best. I love KT. The next pick I have is kind of a super memorable moment, which was the Tonight Show. I did a short, very short set. I did one of my jokes. And my mom was there, and it's like the Tonight Show, and Yandel was there, and Manuel Turizo was there. So like, Manuel Turizo and Yandel are just two huge artists for Latinos. And Ricky Martin was like the guest before me. Like, it was just an insane night. The set went well, and it was so short, and I was so nervous. And my mom is backstage, and she was actually not backstage. She was in the crowd. They cut to her. And I think the Tonight Show is like a dream of yours. When I was starting out in comedy, I was watching a lot of Johnny Carson and just seeing these moments that these comedians had with the big hosts of the time. And this was just so sick, and Jimmy's so cool. And when I came out just for the interview, the Roots were singing Babyface, the rap that I had with Chalamet. Black Thought is like, I got a baby face, but my hips don't lie. Say, I'm a bad kid, bitch, I'm a bad guy. And I'm like, what is happening? A big show when I'm really nervous, and it's a big deal, I think. I listen to Always Be My Baby, but there's a brass tracks version that is like just no vocals. Just so many drums and what's this thing called? The trumpet, and like what's the one that's in the sax, I think, and like it's just this crazy beat. If I really need to get hyped up, I listen to that, and some Spanish music thrown in as well, some reggaeton. The next one I have is this. This is for my Miami people, okay? When I was first starting out, I used to do croqueta reviews in Miami. Croquetas are a Cuban pastry, you could say. The outside is fried, like breadcrumbs fried on the outside. And on the inside, it's ham with maybe like chopped up onions. Finely chopped up everything. The best croquetas in Miami are at Islas Canarias. When I did this review, I remember being excited because everybody had told me you have to do this review. And I went, and it was just an incredible croqueta. If you're from Miami and you know about croquetas, you know about Islas Canarias.